Okay, so we're up to section 3 of building your hotel website. And this one's all about search engine optimization. Now, I have to lay it down straight and fair here. I am not a guru in search engine optimization. And you'll have, I'm sure you're inundated with endless spammy emails talking about SEO offers and proposals and things, people that can help you get on first page of Google. That's not me, I'm not that guy. I'm here talking specifically from a hotel sense, and I guess underpinning to you that the importance of SEO is as important, if not even more important for you in this industry than almost any other. And it's just, you have to get it right. So what I'm going through here now is just basically some high level tips around SEO. The technical back end and that side of it, nowhere near my level of expertise, and we encourage you to hire a pro for that. So you just have to get it right. And SEO, or search engine optimization, in its simplest sense is really that, if I gave you an example, that if you jumped into Google, and I'm sure you're all doing this these days anyway, we know how much traffic's in Google, but if you jumped on and wrote toys for kids into Google, Google then goes off, and based upon a number of factors that they build into what they call an algorithm, they go off and they try and find the most relevant pages for you, for your preferences, where you live, with regards to toys for kids. All right, so that comes down to, does the word toys for kids sit within a web page somewhere? So that's SEO in its very simplest form, but when I mention that word algorithm, there's so many other factors that they take into consideration when it comes to, well, what pages are we going to put forward and show the person who put the search term in? So SEO, in simple terms, is that. In complex terms, is so much more, and we cannot possibly cover it in this course here right now. It really, to me, if you're serious about your business, you need to engage professionals for your SEO. I've got a little bit of a background in some website stuff, and yes, you can have a crack at it, but to make any real inroads, you need to go pro. So that's a must-have. One side tip, however, and in the next module, which is all around online visibility, I'll talk a lot about the Google architecture and what happens with the search results. But one tip straight up is that you need to be dominant in local search results. So what I mean there is, whenever somebody searches, your town or suburb where your property is, you want to be coming up in those search results. And there's some really good hacks that you can do. Again, there's some cheat sheets in the next module that'll help you with that. But I just want to hammer home the point that local search results are really important for the industry that you're in, because it is location based. And specifically what happens is, on a search result, for example, in Google, as soon as somebody types accommodation, hotel, motel, or a town or suburb, that local search functionality, and you would have noticed it on Google, it comes up. It starts to bring up a map on the side and a few locations. And again, I'll talk about the next module altogether in detail. That's the spot. That's a really good hack, how you can actually start to get on page 1 of Google if you get the local search thing right. Certainly from an SEO perspective. The other really big tip I can give you is just be awesome. Just have an awesome, useful website. Because if you think about what Google's goal is to put the most relevant piece of content in front of the person entering the search term. That's their customer. Their customer is people sitting on a PC or a mobile phone punching in a search term. Their service and their product delivery relies upon putting the most relevant piece of content in front of them that suits their needs. So they're not trying to please their advertisers, who ultimately pay the bill, but they keep their eye on their customer, who actually doesn't pay them. But that's the key in their value proposition to the advertisers, that they've got all these people coming and searching stuff in their moment of need. And if Google gets that most relevant piece of content in there, that is what they're trying to achieve, and it helps them underpin their whole business model. Now, the flip side of that, to get the most relevant content in front of them, It needs to be good. And when people start clicking on something that is good, that actually helps them in that algorithm that I talked about. It helps them in the rankings. People go, well, people keep clicking on this because it's good, because the information is helpful, because it's funny, because it's easy to read, because it's relevant to my current needs and my search terms. People keep clicking on it. Part of the algorithm that Google have is that, well, if people are clicking on it, it must be good. All right, so if you're good and you get clicked, Google will push you up the rankings and say, well, and you get even better. So because you're more visible, you get more clicks, and up she goes. So the tip is have an awesome website. Have a helpful, really informative website that people love to read, love to engage, love to view some of the content, use video, all that sort of stuff. That is what helps you make an awesome website. So forget about the complexities of Google's algorithm and SEO and all that sort of stuff. Sure, take care of the technical main structure and all that sort of stuff, get it done right, but don't overthink it. Just have an awesome website and you'll move up the rankings anyway. So there's a little hack we've got for you there. And the final area is here, this is a little bit out of sync, but I call it a digital repository. When it comes to, I guess, keeping up with changes in Google's algorithm, there are things out there that help you keep up with the changes in algorithms from a technical sense. So an option is to explore a digital repository, and we could refer a couple of companies that do this, but basically what they are is a sort of software style application that houses all of your imagery and some of your commentary in that, but mainly your imagery into one central repository and then distributes it on the channels, including your website, including the OTAs and all that sort of thing. The benefit is not the fact that you've got this nice simple repository thing happening, it's more so to do with Google's algorithm, that they take care of meeting the needs of Google's algorithm and keeping up in the search results, and it's their responsibility because you're paying them to take care of that service for you. So engaging a digital repository is a good idea in principle, but even better if you use a provider that's keeping up with the Google changes and the algorithm. Same for your website in general. However you've got building it, make sure it's not just, they don't just build you this beautiful website, they build you a beautiful, functional website and help you keep it up to date. Because things change all the time in Google and you don't want to turn around one day and go, you know what, my traffic has just plummeted and it took me 3 months to notice. So you've got to be, have the pros involved, get the SEO right, get the technical stuff right, and have it constantly monitored so it keeps up to speed from the perspective of search engine optimization, because it's so important.